Greeting, comrades. Do you know what time is it? It's time to mold about the new game. We will react to some YouTube videos, prove them that they are wrong, and establish our position as Peerless Wizard expert. You will find links to full video in the description below, as I will react only to part of it due to time constraint. I don't want this video to take 3 hours. Greetings, Mr. SawmanUK. You are fears that we gonna analyze. Well, we are even on the same part of the barricade, as I am more PvP than PvE player. Unfortunately, you are level 5 classless adventurers and you got killed by all these PvE Andes, and now they are feast on your corpse. But don't worry, this wizard come today for body disposal. So without further ado, let's go straight into it.
Undoubtedly, griefing is bad. People don't like to be griefed, and, you know, as fun as it is, it's an arsehole thing to do. However, I've played at open world PvP recently, which wasn't 20 years old, and do you know what happens to griefers? Let me show you. I think it's because you're called rodent. Like, when you call yourself after, like, a rat or something, people just have the wrong idea. Oh, is that Keeble? Oh, no, it's not Keeble. Hi. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oof. That was not nice. Rodent here had been going down into the sewers and killing a bunch of people. And the friendly guild who protect players, which is the one who just snuck up and killed him, got their revenge and took all his stuff. And that has been mostly my experience of open world PvP. You have players who are out there trying to kill anyone and everyone, and then you have the players who are going around protecting anyone and everyone. And this is just an amazing balance. And the main thing is, it provides entertainment and excitement. But do you know...
Well, I agree about entertainment and excitement, but unfortunately, my level 5 adventurer, this is meme MMO you play. It's 200 online, you know? It's meme. It's not fully developed. Do you know what is happening in fully developed MMO PvP? They are players that live in the basement, like me, and I can kill you and your friendly helping guild alone because I'm so buffed. Because I don't waste time to helping others, I'm just farming in the corner, and now I'm maxed out, and I'm out, and I'm looking for a blood. So what can players do that didn't level up? They just like chase someone. I delete you and your friends. And if, option number 2, if there is like no gear, you cannot be buffed, well, then you have the proper PvP guild can call 100 to 200 player online. What you gonna do then? If you face against 200 players, they're gonna grind you and your friendly helping guild to dust. And 200 online is not even a lot. The Russian Zergs constantly pull like 500 people online. What you gonna do about that? You cannot do nothing. You are dead and you are griefed to the oblivion. So this, what you play is some romantic visions, you know? And, oh yeah, you may have in your mind, oh, there gonna be some high-level player that gonna help me. High-level player do not gonna travel half map to help some newbies just because he is in trouble. He have time optimization, you need to grind, no time to help. Well, if you are big titty lady, yeah, that may happen, but you don't sound like one. Not far later after he released the video, Mr. Sawman, Asmongold react to his video and call his MMO also not very representative due to its number. So Mr. Sawman do video responding to these allegations, and this is what he have to say. Bagoosh.
Maybe not full loot, but you want to play a PvP game where you can kill people whenever you want, that's totally fine. But I also think that it's totally fine to say, hey, these are what these games create. These are the amount of people that these games make, and the amount of people that these, the amount of people that these games attract. And again, you can never argue with numbers, and that's the best thing about them.
So just to reiterate, this game is pretty much still in pre-release and probably had one of the worst launches in history of any small indie game. But listen, I am Asmon Doggo, so I need to refute this with numbers and facts. So let's go.
But you want to play a PvP game where you can kill people whenever you want, that's totally fine. But I also think that it's totally fine to say, hey, these are what these games create.
Now, you're right, numbers don't...
Complete wrong example. Let's go back. Okay, we see them now. This is very bad example that you put on the screen comparing MMO to DayZ and Rust. And let me explain you why. Easy. When you play this kind of game, DayZ, Rust, you have multiple servers. So you start the server, you join in, you get kabooshed. What you can do, you can join new server. You can make your own server, so you are never behind. This is no problem to being behind. You also, progression on this type of game is really quick. Week and you are maxed out, or maybe 2 weeks. I didn't play them more. In MMO on the other side, you spend like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks in making your character, and now they start to grief you, and what can you do? What can you do? You gonna leave the server and go to another one? They are already running. There is no new fresh server. You have nowhere to go. You're gonna start from level 1? You're gonna make your situation worse. So this is completely not comparable to the MMOs that you show. They're not even in same dimension. This is not even talk. Rust, DayZ, you can always start fresh, you can make your own server. Even if you are griefed, you can wait until the guy is log off, he's sleeping in his sleeping bag, and you can raid his base and take all on his belongings. Can you do it in MMO? If someone is offline, can you rob him of his items? No. So putting these games as an example that of the PvP and MMO is very wrong and misleading. Unfortunately, my friend, hard story for you. Ion, that it's like maybe 10 or 15-year-old game, private servers of Ion that are run on Brazilian fridge in Pakistan have more online, like 300 to 400 online, that your Mortal 2 game, or what is it called. So yeah, it's talking that this is like in early access or it's like fucked up. It's not an excuse.
It's not reinventing any wheels, and there really aren't any downsides. Perhaps the developers should just consider 2 types of servers: AOC PvE servers and AOC PvP servers.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
This is by far one of the worst suggestions ever, and just no. It's one community. You're not supposed to divide it. You're not supposed to have 2 separate entities. It is one big community, okay? Let's just keep it together. Just a little bit together. Also, who uses the troll face still? Like, what year is this?
Maybe you do something completely different, and you have...
Unfortunately, the ratio PvE to PvP player is like 10 to 1, or maybe even 20 to 1. So all the developers see on the forum and social media is PvE players complain and getting angry. They are bitches. And you try to negotiate with the terrorism by putting them in one server all together and force them into PvP. Tell me the story how it ends for Black Desert, who also do not have PvE servers. So back in the beginning of Black Desert, if you die to enemy player or any other player, you lose XP, go down, and you lose your crystals, they shatter. And if you like 10% per hour, 2% per hour was the grind, it hurts. It hurts. And this game is designed that the spots that where you XP gain level are pretty small. You can fit like 4 to 5 players max on one spot, so it forces the interaction between player and fights, because not like 20 people can fit in one spot. Okay, so I'm running on my horsey, patatai patatai, because there is no teleport. So half hour, patatai patatai, to my villa to get buffed. Okay, I am buffed. Now, through the desert to my spot, another hour. Patatai 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 patatai. Okay, on my spot, and let's grind. I'm using my spell, wololo, wololo. And now, what happened after 15 minutes? Some guy comes and he steal my mobs, okay? And I already like spent 2 hours preparations and I want to farm and I cannot level up because he's stealing my mobs. It's suboptimal. I'm losing XP because he taking my mobs. So what I do? Kill that bitch, one shot. And on old version of the game, he come 1, 2, 3 times. He lose like 10% XP, shatter all his crystal, and he's out. I can continue my farming. And on the new version of the game, do you know what happened that they cry about? The guy keeps coming back and keeps coming back. And every time I kill him, I have negative karma. And if I die on negative karma, I have chance to drop the enchant from my gear. And this is like super ass. You like from 10 to 3, you drop your upgrade. And this is absolutely heartbreaking. So you kill him like 10 to 15 times and you need to give up your spot. Otherwise, you risking lose your progress, okay? So I am better player. I spent more hours. I have better gear. I one-shot that guy. And I need to give up the spot because he karma bombs me. And I can nothing do about it. And I am griefed by PvE player. That's what happen when you force PvP and PvE players together. They gonna cry on the forum and devs gonna eventually bend the knee, introduce some shitty rule, and you gonna get cancer from it. So let them have their PvE servers. They can have their pickaxe, mine their stone, gather their butterflies. Let's leave them their life. Do not force them into PvP servers because it's gonna backlash and they're gonna introduce the rule that gonna backlash all the PvP players and you will not able to be PvP anymore. There's gonna be so many protections, okay? So let them have their PvE servers, let them have fun, and don't worry. There's gonna be enough online to fill the PvP servers and to have fun. No doubt about that.
Now, I know you like to play devil's advocate, but it felt kind of harsh to dismiss a game based on its player count.
The game, if you have like 200 online, it cannot produce any expansion or even sustain their servers, okay? So if there is like super low online, it's dead. There is no question about it. So we cannot take examples from some, zombies on the cemetery.
It's like saying someone with smaller subs than someone else just is irrelevant with their opinion.
But Sawman also has 17,000 subs, so what does he know?
Oh, who is this gentleman? Okay, he may be taken out of context, so sorry, mister, I don't know who you are. If I offend you, if you don't mean what you mean, but if you mean what you mean, listen me schmuck, okay? Listen me moron. What is YouTube? YouTube is consistently putting the videos, editing, scripting, social media, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, You spend 80 times in the work, in the thing, and 20% of the times. On the flip side, the persons that have less subscribers spend more time in the game and spare less on YouTube. So who know more about the game? Who is more immersed in the game and have the better experience? The person who play religiously and occasionally join YouTube, and it's gonna reflect in the sub. You know how algorithm works, okay? So following your shitty logic, Amorat should be like, president of the world. She have like quadrillion subscribers, so her opinion is the most important. Yours is invalid, okay? Anyway, let's continue.
Like and subscribe. Good ideas can come from small places. Electric cars for a long while were seen as these ugly...
Oh, okay. I'm getting angry, so let's cut it here. Electric cars are trashed pushed by the corrupted governments, so automotive makers can scrap your 20-year-old Civic in the junkyard so you can buy new Nissan Hybrid Juke half-liter 20 horsepower and be happy, okay? They want to sell you shit. That's all about it. So electric cars are not good example. Anyway, next caller. Next one is the viewer who asked for his own extermination. So, well, Wizard delivers. Here we
While
go.
grinding and taking forever to level up sounds exciting to a hardcore MMO player, that's just a niche. It's not content that will entertain or serve 100% of a player base. It's not content
True.
that can sustain the average user. That's content that can only serve the type of person who's willing to spend almost a dozen hours every day to play your game just.
I think if the grind is fun, you feel like accomplished, that's no problem with it. The problem with it is when the new MMO are designed a way that from level 0 to max level there is basically desert, you know? You have nothing to do.
To keep up. They designed content for the type of players they used to be. But what the developers didn't realize was that they were a minority even within their own games. And they weren't even that good at the games. They just spent a lot of time in there. To give you an idea of what makes you hardcore in an MMO nowadays, I would point you towards the recent re-release of Classic. The first clear of Ragnaros was done by a guild wearing green gear, and they weren't even max level. Now that was cool to see. It essentially proved that all these old school hardcore MMO players were just full of shit. You didn't need to grind to be able to beat a boss, they just sucked that much. The saddest...
Okay, now I need to completely disagree with it, because back in the days there was no plugins, no data mines, no all this information that we have now that people discover over the years, you know. People who first clear the raids, they go in darkness. They didn't have any information. You cannot go to YouTube and Google how I killed the boss. And there was also some, gatekeeping, and people do not share the information.
Fast forward to today.
Here we go.
Ashes of Creation is coming. It's the next WoW killer. Yay! It promises great gameplay, great combat, and a lot of sandbox features for the players to enjoy. It also promises that it will have a long and meaningful leveling journey, that you will get to max level in 45 days if you play 4 to 6 hours a fucking day. That all of the endgame content will be difficult, and you will need to group up and socialize.
Okay, I think I see where the problem comes from, my friend. Unfortunately, you are from the Zoomer era and you never played proper old type MMO, I assume. Or you played like some modern version that is already cocked to maximum. So let me explain you. You see this 45 day now and it's like, and you look on it by the window of the modern MMOs. And what modern MMO design is? Level start to level max, nothing. Desert. You feel like you're wasting your time because you don't keep the items. You're not gonna keep the skills. You're not gonna keep the upgrades because you replace it. You're gonna reach the end game. There is new boss. Bagusht. It drops new mega armor and you put everything before the max level into the trash can, you know? But it was not like that back in my old days. So let me give you an example. Lineage 2, I played on the retail server. The maxing level up was like 6 months to a year. I was level 85 was maximum. I remember when I was like level 78. And 1 hour to 2 hour grind give me 1% XP. And if I die, I lost 5% of XP. So where are the players that are like level 20 or level 30, how they feel? I have like 4 months or 5 months ahead of them, you know? So this is like scary. But back in the den, on every level, there was like challenge. you know, it builds your character. So let me give you an example. Level 40, there was like a special boss, ancient boss, the queen of ants. You kill her, you drop the best ring for hunter, assassin class, and the bow class. Best ring in the game, level 40. And if you are level above level 50, then this boss do not drop anything from you. And people not even get allowed that were like level 45 or above because they lower the drop chance. So that was not area designed for high level players. If the high level player hit the boss, he got turned into stone for 1 hour and he can chill. Only the low level players were able to kill this boss. And if you kill this boss, it drops the ring, and the ring is like worth Omega end game ring. You can get full gear, end game gear for that ring, or you can keep it. It's worth, like, you know, back in the day it was worth like half of a car. Basically, so you are level 40, you just play for a month, but you can already access Omega good item. And the same for level 50, that was like best earring for a healer, level 60, best earring for a warrior, 70 and onwards, you know? So why this system was failed? Well, because it's failed. Game developers do not expect that players are so crazy. So what players do? Level up character to 80, 85, and then de-level it to level 40. So they create fake level 40 players. It look like level 40, it have level 40, but it have skills from level 80, and this character exterminate all the newbies. But yeah, we learned the lesson, so we can fix it. And if all these 45 days that you play on your character gonna feel that you contribute to your future power, and you don't just farm disposable items, you just you level up your skills, and it's all gonna matter in the end, then this 45 days not gonna be problem. Let's go then.
First, let's talk combat. This is by far the most important aspect of any game. If your combat sucks, then it's really hard to maintain the type of player base an MMO requires, especially one that is putting such a huge emphasis on player interaction and PvP. Ashes of Creation is gonna have
This is actually remind me Arcade system. An Arcade you were able to pick fighter, mage and summoner and have 3 class trees. And that gives like 120 class combinations, you know? That was a bit rough. I way more prefer the patch of Exe system that you drop the skill and do unga bunga. Not like... That was a bit too overwhelming for me. But whatever, push your boat.
64 classes. Thing is, there's actually only 8 classes, each with their own slight alterations. The problem with the system is going to be balance. They are used to...
Oh no, don't even think about the balance. There is not gonna be balance, If you have target MMO, that's gonna be Ashes of Creation. If you have targets that can target someone, there's gonna be two scenarios. Scenario 1, range classes gonna destroy the melee classes, gonna kite them to oblivion. You're gonna can't move your hand as a melee, you're gonna be deleted. Or scenario number 2, the melee class gonna have dash, they're gonna dash into range class, stun lock them for 20 minutes or 1 hour, and you're gonna die in the stun as a range class or mage or some, archer. So yeah, this or this. And even, even the non-target, like Black Desert try to balance it. And how it ends, they give everyone maximum movement. Everyone can dash, avoid the skills, so much movement. And what happened? Server cannot keep up with refreshing the player position. So player can dash through the skill and not can even hit by it because server is too slow to register the player's position and refresh them fast enough. And then, people are immortal while they're dashing, yeah? Beautiful system. I got so much cancer from Black Desert I don't even want to speak about. Yeah, let's continue.
And balance is something that even the most hardened
Can't balance.
professional balance teams have yet to...
Need to be enough options need to be enough like equipment options, class options, skill options. So if you're getting deleted by something, you like you sit in your chair, you think, okay, so I died from this, but if I'm gonna use this and combine it with this, I'm not gonna die to this, you know. So if they're gonna give enough options, player will find a way to counter bullshit.
To such variety. Most MMOs struggle with class choice. A lot of players will straight up quit if their class is that much worse than all of the competitors. In Ashes of Creation, this sort of problem is going to be way more fucked up to sort out. Think back to what I said about leveling. It takes 45 days to level up a class. That means if you made a poor choice, you are done. You will always be at a disadvantage, and it will take you more than a month to sort the problem out. All the while, you'll be playing a competitive economy game with open world combat. You'll make one bad choice, then you'll have to choose between being behind forever or keeping up but always being on the losing side of fights and duels.
Oh, that's wrong. Disagree. And I explain you now why. Because in this game, probably in PvP, gear gonna matter, okay? So I am archer and you are tanker warrior. You counter me, okay? But you have Andy Pants +7 and I have Incel Bow +20. So what you counter me? What does it matter if you counter me? I hit you for 5 million, you hit me for 5. So even if you counter me, my time and my gear beats you. That's it. And if they must do gear, okay? Because if they gonna do PvP, open world will be normalized, then Zerg clan's gonna win. Open Zerg, 300 people, and that's gonna win. So the gear will be necessary.
What's even worse is that they already confirmed they won't even bother balancing for 1v1.
You can't balance 1v1.
In the words of the man himself, the balance is going to have a rock, paper, scissors dynamic, where one class might have a
RH lineage
over
works
another simply because it counters you. Just by this one choice. The whole idea of that cool election mechanic where you can fight in a tournament.
This is actually taken from Lineage to Heroic System, and I was participating in Lineage to Heroic System. I fight against the classes that counter me, and yeah, if I put 300 hours more, my Virgin Bow +20 beat them all the time. So no problemo.
Decide the mayor is out of the window. You can't exactly be excited for a 1v1 duel when one of the guys just has a flat advantage over the other.
So what if you have
It's
advantage?
also going to be dreadful for players
Need to play
who
more.
are out in the world farming, only to be their counter in the open world and have few chances of success.
Yeah, these games were designed, if I meet the counter, so boom, I lose because the counter. Okay, I need better gear. I have better gear, I still lose. Boom. So what you do, you call your clan a 9v19 and you do PvP for 1 hour. And you win or you lose and whatever. Let's go.
Scissor dynamic simply doesn't function for the open world combat.
Yeah, it is working.
Many other side features.
Yeah, but you need to play.
That's just one.
It's working. I play the games that it works fine. Just you need to play in group. If you are solo, yeah, that's your death. If you think that you're gonna solo, then yeah, GG. This, dancing coffin.
We're taking a bit of a look at Alpha 1, there just isn't anything there. And you might say, yeah, it's an alpha. But keep in mind, this game is taking inspiration from Guild Wars 2, and is taking inspiration from Archage. And from what I understand, a bit of Lineage 2 as well, EverQuest, Star Wars Online.
I will say a lot from the Lineage.
What did these games have in common? Dogshit boss design. Like absolutely horrendous boss design. I'm talking, thing is a stat stick at best, and having you sit there and watch it doing nothing at
one button rotation.
worst. You'll see a boss fly off and start shooting shit at you, and the only thing you can do is sit there as the healers give you heals. Let's have the boss fight.
True.
Now I want to show you something. I was actually listening to the developers talk about their favorite bosses, and they were saying that this boss fight right here
this is
that I'm
arcade.
showing you on screen is one of their favorite bosses. It's one of their favorite, my man.
What are some of your guys' favorite raids that you've been in the past in other games? I think my favorite was probably like Valakis or Antheris.
Yes, my man.
Antheris was
My
pretty
man.
Yeah, it's like a 5-hour long raid.
Yeah,
You lost like
my
6 levels
man.
that took you a month to get back.
awesome. Yep. Yeah, I think my favorite is the Arcade Red Dragon, where you can PvP as well.
Look at this pathetic dragon. He's doing nothing. He's sitting there doing nothing for half the bloody boss fight. How is this your favorite boss fight? Have you played any goddamn games in the last 10 years? I feel more in danger fighting a lizard on the side of the street in Australia.
Oh yeah, that was pretty fun. I liked the little the harpoon mechanic.
He likes the harpoon mechanic.
That's nice, man. Well, yeah. Listen, my friend, you completely don't get it, and I understand why you don't get it. But how can I explain you that? You know? So yeah, get ready. This is gonna be long run. This is like my 6th try. How I even explain it to someone who never played these games? Yeah, let's try. Alright, so what you see on the screen, yes, you are right. By the modern standards, this is pathetic. This is like loot piñata that you press one button. But what are modern standards? Okay, I press the button, blah, 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 party fight, then I press another button, blah, 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 blah. Okay, start the boss. And if this will be the case, and the boss is like that, he's like, snooze fest, and just like, the loot piñata, yes, it is unacceptable. This is absolute cock-ass trash. And I agree with you. And this is how you see this boss. But this is not the whole story, my friend. These are the most epic bosses that beat any of these, super mechanically advanced thing in the world. And now, let me explain you why. This exactly one, I have no details about it because it's RH. I played RH on Korea, and the moment I was on PvP, and I fight with the guy, and I press the button, he pressed the button, and the character, I teleport behind the guy, he pressed the button, and his character automatically rotates towards me, okay? So I try to be sneaky, I try to use some zoning, and if the target on character automatically turns your character, you just press the button, guy teleports behind you, you keep pressing the button, the character will automatically turn towards the enemy and continue attack. So yeah. I say, okay, GG RH. And yeah, my second leader played, he gave me some insight, but that's not the case because this guy here, where is it? Let me check. Bagoosh. This guy here was officer in Lineage 2 that prepare guild for one of these bosses. Oh. So, let me explain you why these bosses are the most epic thing ever. We never gonna experience it again. Nothing gonna beat it. Even if they design 50 phases, super turbo, mechanically advanced thing, it's never gonna beat it. Because not the boss. The boss and killing the boss is just like piñata with the drop. This is your final stage. Back in the den, maybe let's start from the beginning. So the server starts, bagoosh. To kill this boss, I need 70 to 80 mages. Otherwise, the red one. The black one is for the warriors. I was the mage, I was preparing for the mage one. So yeah, mage one. 60-70 mages, otherwise it's gonna regenerate quicker than you damage it. Boom, 60-70 mages involved. Now, the mages will use mana. You need, and they need heals. Okay, you need support to regenerate the mana and to heal. Boom, another 20 people on top of that. So 60-70, we are now 80-90 people involved in the boss. 80-90 people, okay? This is like, I'm talking minimum, this is not like... overkill. No, 80, 90 minimum. Then continue. 80, 90 people. And you think, okay, we have 80, 90 people, boom, you go to the boss. No, my friend. You need to gear them up. It's not like there is a dungeon, I go to the dungeon and then I get the gear. You need to gather the materials around the world and craft the 80 ropes for the mages and for the support. So what you need, you think you can gather it. The mages can gather stuff. Of course they cannot. There is like special worker class that gather shade. Okay, and you need crafting class that craft materials. So mages can eat cock. You need on top of that 20 special class that only gathers materials. Only gathers materials. So we have already 100 people involved. And what is another problem? The people and people other guilds want to kill you. You want to kill your workers. Okay, so you need on top of that 20, 30 classes that are PvP only. And we add up this and that, boom, we have 150 people involved in this operation. This is like Grand Omega Cock operation. You have 150 people involved in this only. Alright, let's go, we continue. Now you need, there you have like unexpected variables. There is like best in slot set for the mages. It's called Dark Crystal. Dark Crystal, like pattern, the receipt that the dwarf class need to read to craft your fucking gloves, drops only for like, there is like 20 mobs on the map, and you need like 80 gloves, and you need like kill 200 mobs to get one receipt, or maybe 1,000. So like, what the fuck is this? Omega Cock. You can kill the world bosses outside, but yeah, they sometimes drop, sometimes not. Yeah, so they are not reliable. You need to craft it. So you farm all weeks to get these gloves. Okay, what's the problem? Enemies start attacking our mages that farm the gloves and our workers that get materials. Boom, the PvP team teleports, kill them. 5-hour PvP for shitty gloves. You win PvP, good, you got your gloves. You lose PvP, you need to like re-strategize and choose another set. Okay, maybe Talum, it's easier to do, let's go Talum. Okay, so 80% people have good set, 20% have less bad set. But now you need to level up the supports. Supports cannot level up alone. Supports class have no damage skills, you need to level them up. Mages need to level them up. You level up the supports, okay? Poof, Omega operation. And there is, I skip like 50% of it. Okay, month pass, 2 months pass. Okay, you are ready. Boss spawning every 2 weeks. Okay, there is one boss spawning every 2 weeks. This red dragon spawn every 2 weeks. You gather your guild. Where. Everyone gathers. You know, gathering 110 people in one place. It's not easy, you know. They're like, oh, yeah, my computer lagging. Oh, something's wrong, you know. It takes times. Enemies see that, okay, they see 80 mages log in, 20 supports, okay, they going for Valakas. And they are in the town that are next to the volcano where he lives. Okay, they going for boss. Interrupt bitches, alarms ringing on the other side of the planet. We cannot let them have the boss. Enemies log in, they go into the maze because it's like big shitty cock maze in the volcano that you need to pass through to get to the boss. So you can teleport to there, but yeah, they require like special quest that only 3 people have from your guild. You need to walk. So you are like preparing, you walk. And yeah, these games also use the bullets. You use the ammunition to cast spells and to attack. So you also need to wait up with this ammunition. You're like, super slow. Whoa, yeah. Enemies already know, okay, you're going through the maze. Boom. They mobilize 50 people. We need to quick because they calling people to prevent us from doing. They have warriors, so they cannot kill the boss themselves, okay? But they don't have good party to kill the boss, but they want to prevent us from killing the boss. So they coming into the maze. They buffing the mobs. They healing the mobs, okay? So you go through the maze to the boss, But mobs are buffed and they one-shot you. What is happening? What is crazy happening? Boom, 50-50 PvP, 100 vs 100 PvP. Whoa, everyone killing the rage on the chat, you know? People die, lose XP. So just journey to this boss is like grand operation journey boss. And then you kill all the enemies finally. You call the special class that it's only for PvP. It have good name. It is Dominator. This class can buff all aliens and all guilds. You have 200 people aliens guild where people get disconnected because they have 2 GB RAM and the animation appear on 200 people at once from buffing. Boom, they PC dies. You need to wait. Enemies keep coming at you, try to kill you, prevent you. Okay, you finally kill the enemies. Boom, you enter the boss lair. The boss is close, and what is happening? Whoa, the whole server screen is shaking, and there is dragon roar. All the people on the server know that you are attempting to kill the boss. Now every server now you have like 500 people waiting for you from entrance to the boss now to kill you. They want you to fail. You fail. All your party dies, you getting pulled out from the instances, then 500 people waiting to grind you to dust, go in and take your, kill your boss and take your loot, okay? So you are like, you know, you killing this boss, you attack this piñata with the damage, and you know if he do some bullshit skill that kill everyone, you're gonna die, enemy is gonna take over the boss. You killed finally the boss, the loots drop on the ground, and there is one necklace, one Bessin slot necklace, and some bitch take it, quit the guild, and the raid fails. And you telling me this epic adventure that involves 150 people and Omega Enrage, and I skip like 80% of the journey was skipped. I just like give you, you know. So that's why Steve and other guys, they remember this boss was epic. Not the boss alone. Boss alone mechanic is shit, but all the journey, what takes you to this boss, what, you know, what was involved, how many people was involved, what was the, you know, enemies try to prevent you from doing. All this journey, that's matter, that is hype, that is epic, like the server shaking, dragon roar, everyone knows, you know, you are on top of the food chain. That was epic, that was that thing that was so cool about and legendary about this boss, is this involved like real fucking Omega adventure. You're not gonna get that by clicking, enter the boss, do it. Like 5-hour mechanic. You're not gonna get it. That's why Steven and all his, you know, friends are excited about it. That's the exciting part. Journey to the boss. The boss is just final piñata to do damage, take the loot.
GTA 5. Pretty big game, right? How big do you think the map is in kilometers? And answer honestly. Okay, whatever you said was actually wrong. They give you an exact number. That number is 75.84 square kilometers. Size of classic Azeroth? 114 square kilometers. Now, how big did they say the Ashes of Creation map will be? 1,400 square kilometers.
Ooh.
Why? Even the servers. In WoW, the servers cap at 5,000 to 6,000 players. In Ashes, they increase server capacity to 10,000 players.
Nice.
But the map is more than 10 times the size. World of Warcraft already feels empty. Can you imagine what Ashes would be like? To end this video off, I want to say this.
Again. Open world PvP game. The map needs to be super large. Otherwise, if you're gonna get griefed and attacked by other players, you have nowhere to go. If you have a super big Omega map, like they plan, thanks God they do it. Well, it may feel a bit empty, but you have the window and opportunity to go somewhere else and farm and continue your XP or your leveling. If the map gonna be small and you have open world PvP that you cannot like register out, yeah, you're gonna get killed because people will contest the spot, kill you 1 million times, and boom, you quit because you have no alternative. Now with the big map, okay, I was pushed from this spot, but there is like spot over there. Is also quite good. I can continue farming there. That's why the map is big, my friend. Anyway, that's it about my reaction. I was actually in this video hype my hopes up, because to kill Antaras and Valakas on Lineage 2 retail server, that I hear that Steven say, you need to be top S tier players. You cannot do it solo. You need to have organized guild. You need to be part of Omega strong alliance. And if the Steven do it, he's S tier player. I am less concerned about future of the Ashes of Creation. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope it was not too long. And that was my reaction. Well, that was my commentary to the videos. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.